Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And with Rostermania rumbling on in the background, lots of discussion about the potential revenge arc of Dylan Envoy Hannah. Removed on by Chicago just a few days ago. Where could he potentially go next? Rumours coming out about this left, right and centre. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Ready up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all though, lots of other Rostermania discussion. This from the Toronto Ultra side of things. We don't really know what's going on right now with Ultra. We're pretty sure that inside Cammy and Bance re-signed to the Ultra. CleanX, we are not sure. Apparently he's, well, at least in discussions with some other teams. Where does he go? I don't really know. Will the team stick together? That is certainly a possibility. With so many other changes happening though, who really knows what goes on? And with Envoy potentially looking for an aggressive SMG partner, there's not too many options out there on the table, although I'm sure Envoy is going to have a pick of his bunch of that, well, many teams to potentially go to going forwards. This also was from, I'm pretty sure, Method's Instagram story just a few days ago. You can see you on this billboard or this kind of like sign thing, digital thing. See you in January on the right hand side. Maybe Ultra knows something we don't in terms of when the CDL is going to return next year. We're thinking possibly January 2022. Of course, it did come out in January this year. It was only like the pre-season events. I was personally hoping they'd bring the season earlier a little bit, to be honest, because it's going to be a long time since we have competitive Call of Duty action at the highest level yet again. Maybe, well, maybe they're just saying this, or well, maybe they actually know something that we have not yet seen announced on the, well, on the public-facing side. This also very disappointing from the E United side. They've been doing all sorts of baiting the last few days. They might be returning to the CDL, especially with the Paris Legion spots seemingly up for sale. It E United seemed like the perfect team to slot into that role. That's not going to be the case. They've been doing all sorts of stuff, right? Even in their Twitch chat, like first of all, they were streaming a load of Call of Duty stuff in their Twitch chat the last couple of days. They also had like Chicago and Paris. If you type them in as like commands in the Twitch chat, it would come up with something. They did the whole website, right, where it was kind of hinting that they would come back to the CDL. Not the case though. They actually reveal that they're going to Halo. And to be fair, like there's a load of these new teams that are actually going into this Halo League, which seems pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, they got a fair bit of backlash for this, and it's understandably so. Honestly, embarrassing L's all across the board. Of course, what that does mean though is that there will have to be a team, you'd imagine, that replaces this Paris spot. There's also that Chicago spot up for grabs that we've been talking about, which is also kind of crazy to think about. As Method says right here, me hitting up United thinking they were coming back to Call of Duty. Turns out, well, that indeed does not seem to be the case, unless they're, pulling the ultra mega bait and actually they're going into Halo and Call of Duty. That remains to be seen. Of course, well, if United aren't coming in for the Paris spot, for example, Cloud9 is still very much a massive question mark. What organisation could potentially come in? And I'm thinking about organisations that have been in Call of Duty in the past. Of course, the Halo League also has well, a lot of organisations have come into that right now. Astro and Envy is one of them. We'll also talk about what exactly Envy are getting up to with the OpTic merger being discussed behind the scenes right now, I imagine, or certainly at least on the public side. And this I did think was also interesting from, well, Fnatic. So Sam Matthews says this: today's a very, very good day. We signed something very big. Cannot wait to share. September is going to be painted black and orange. Now, whether this has anything to do with Call of Duty, probably not, to be honest. But Fnatic were in Call of Duty in the past a couple of times, especially Infinite Warfare. You guys might remember that pretty legendary team of Tommy, Waskin, Scraps, and Sunny B that did some decent things, to be honest, that title. So, okay, yeah, maybe Fnatic make a return. I don't really know. But with the United not going to Paris, there could be another team getting involved there. I'm thinking now, especially if United aren't there, then maybe Heretics makes a lot of sense. Take that team over to Madrid, like get rid of the whole Paris thing entirely. I think that'd be a good move. At the same time, I'd feel bad for French fans not having a Paris team anymore if that was the case. But then again, like the management of the Legion wasn't exactly particularly friendly to French players, let's just say, with well, basically no one on the team ever being French. We get this also from Crone, as he mentions right here. John has changed his bio. You can see all this through like spoonbill.io if you guys want to like sign up for the newsletters. But yeah, John's changed his bio. Professional player for LA Thieves is gone, so seems like he's been dropped from that team, and not exactly a massive surprise. That leaves us some serious options on the table, right? Especially given we're going to talk about Envoy here in just a couple of seconds. And this is what Envoy tweeted out yesterday. It became personal for me with the whole Michael Jordan thing. Now, obviously, kind of interesting, right? Now, look, at the end of the day, it seems like there's no bad blood between him and the rest of the OpTic guys. They seem to part on good terms. Scump talked about that the other day. There were some nice replies between Envoy and Scump, and he was saying like, all love, like this isn't nothing personal or anything. But now Envoy comes out with this and says, yeah, okay, maybe it is somewhat personal, right? And the revenge tour will have to be well and truly on, because it's very interesting to see. I wonder what happens in a few years' time. I wouldn't be surprised to see this team of Scump, ILLey, Shotzzy, and Dashy, for example, play for a couple of years. Then maybe when Scump does decide to like retire and move on from professional Call of Duty, then Envoy could like make the massive return or something. That could indeed happen. But for the near future, he's certainly looking. I mean, this is always the case, right? If you're part of OpTic, the biggest brand, and like you're not going to be part of OpTic anymore, then you always want to prove that you know, them dropping you was a bad decision, and that you know, you could have done better still in that team going forwards. So Envoy, I'm sure, is looking like, hey, maybe it might not be personal from certain perspectives, even though he does tweet this out, but still, he's going to be looking for revenge in some form or another, and there's certainly many other players in the league right now that find themselves in a similar boat. So we get some replies here from Arcitys, for example, tweets this out in reply. So yeah, okay, it's kind of funny really, the FaZe guys sitting back and relaxing as they're enjoying the show of the chaos that happens on the timeline every single day. Where does Envoy go though? That is to me a massive question mark. There was this that No Context CDL comes out with, like this you know, picture of Kenny in the replies. Kenny actually comes in the replies and drops the question mark. So I do wonder if you know, so No Context CDL's kind of implied here, could this be somewhat intel, right? Is Kenny patrolling this tweet for the sole purpose that maybe Envoy to 100 Thieves could be a good idea? Wouldn't be a bad move by any means if you pair him up with a guy like Huke. Maybe Drazah can run the entry and Envoy can be on that kind of you know, slaying SMG type route man role. Then it could be really interesting. But Envoy, I'm sure, can fit into a lot of places, and it will be a very hot prospect this upcoming offseason. Now, this was also very interesting from Zuma's stream last night. Of course, you know, he likes to stream, go on Twitter and stuff like this. Accidentally clicked on the messages, and therefore people are talking about it. So we might as well do it in today's video. Basically, what's going on here is that Dylan Envoy's mother reached out to Zuma to say, you know, do you have like an Astro Gaming code or something that I can get a discount on a headset? And Zuma was like, yeah, don't worry about actually paying for it. Like, I'll speak to Astro and try and get you one. So of course you can see like he's speaking to Envoy's mother right here, and then Astro Gaming's up here, and well, someone's saying to him, all right, I've got an order in for the all R ... People are implying this could be like the all red, because he goes on to say in this clip I'll show in just a second here, which he's basically saying, look, that the color of the headset gives it away. Like, he's in discussions with Astro to get a headset for Envoy, and the color of that headset gives away what team is going to be moving to. And some people are looking at this and saying this should be like the all red Astro A50s or whatever, and maybe that's going to imply Los Angeles Thieves.
Why are you guys saying 100T Envoy? What happened? What the f happened? I thought it was NYSL Envoy. What happened? Listen, man, the headset's purple, okay? You know? The headset's purple. It's purple, chat. It's purple. It's purple, chat. It's purple. It's purple.
The other potential angle to take here is the Crimsix angle, right? Because if you're talking about revenge tours, there's no one really in the league more likely to try and pull that off than a guy like Crimsix. And it could be the perfect partnership between Crimsix and Envoy if they wanted to come together for the upcoming season, right? Because Crim, I'm sure, is biding his time and thinking what options he could potentially take here going forwards. Because this whole OpTic Dallas thing is a bit of a, well, it's a bit of a shambles, to be honest, especially for guys like Crimsix, who have tried to build up the Dallas Empire organization the last couple of seasons. Now he's getting effectively dropped from that team, and Scump and Dashy seem to be coming in. He's got to go elsewhere. Where does he go? Does he, build a team around him? Does Envoy think, I'm sure, like, Crim's going to be a very hot prospect. There's going to be a lot of players that and teams that could improve from Crim's presence there. And maybe with Envoy tweeting what he tweets about the revenge tour and stuff like this, it could be perfect for Crimsix as well to slot into a position like that and get that as a team or two going forward. It would be pretty exciting to see if Envoy, having teamed with the OpTic guys for a year, now teams up with Crim and tries to make the revenge tour happen at next season. Honestly, the storylines before the rosters have even been announced, and won't be announced for several days at this point. September the 5th is when I'm sure confirmations can start to officially come out. Even before that, even before that time arrives, we can already see the storylines beginning to develop for next year, which very exciting stuff indeed. This also from Sender. Did want to mention this because he does the Forest Gump wave, and it's somewhat unclear exactly what this could mean. It's impossible to read into, right? We did think though, with the whole Dallas OpTic merger, which seems to be going on right now, if it does indeed, of course, go ahead, what happens to Sender? Does he leave OpTic? Does he join Rambo as kind of being the additional coach of that team? Or what happens over there? Because it seemed like the players rate Sender pretty highly, but there has been some talk about how much do they actually listen to Sender's input and these types of questions, right? So who really knows? But something to keep your eyes on most certainly going forwards. This also from Hitch. I don't know if he's just like pure baiting on the tunnel here. He may well be. Drops the snake emoji, and people are like, okay, is this a shot at Envoy? But no, that's my boy. So not really sure what this even refers to be honest. Thought I'd mention it for you guys regardless. Always excited to look into this one. fun, and we'll see what potentially could be going on behind the scenes, especially in the chaos that is the OpTic camp at the present time. Envoy even comes in and replies well here, and seems to be on good terms with all of these fellas, but still just a few minutes before, he's dropping the whole, it's time for the revenge tour to will kick into effect, and it became personal for me. Just to finish off the video with this aBeZy I thought was a very interesting idea that I would love to see again. Back in back in the good old days, MLG would used to do these events where not only COD was there, but also Halo, Rocket League, Valorant, for example, all there at the same time. Even Counter-Strike would sometimes come into the venues, and that was really cool because you got to have the crossover between fans of different esports would come to the event, and cross-pollination, as Austin's talking about right here. So I know it'll never happen. Love some COD, Halo, Rocket League, even Valorant events combined, like old MLG days. Don't think games always have to be separate, and it could grow together most certainly. Whether the CDL would do anything like this, who really knows right now? The Overwatch League obviously in a bit of a tough spot, as we've seen these last several weeks, but Halo seems to be making a bit of a resurgence. A lot of organisations coming in there, especially of course United, as we looked at earlier today, kind of blue balling, you could well argue, the entire Call of Duty competitive scene. Very much intriguing your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I know you enjoyed this content. I'd hope like you may enjoy this content as well, and I'd grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.